So I've been talking lately about these videos that have these weird thumbnails. You can tell they're manufactured like a piece of graphic art that's meant to catch your eye. I'm looking at this one right here, the military show. I already told YouTube, look, don't recommend this person to me. I don't know who they are, okay? But what I've seen so far is how much they've gotten wrong. So that's the military show. As far as I know, that's nobody. That's an AI voice, because you can tell because of the mispronunciation, the AI scripts, and then the AI generated imagery. It's all fake. It's like religion or politics. They're trying to serve up a flavor that you like. And so they can suck you down this hole where they just give you more and more and more and more and more. You gain nothing from that sort of use of YouTube as a part of your life, right? A tool, YouTube. Then, I had to send this guy a comment because he said the F-16s, the military show, he said the F-16s that were going to Ukraine could carry this. First off, he missed two of the primary weapons. And then he says, and so this many bombs, including nuclear weapons. That is incorrect. That is incorrect. Now, who has motive to say something so fucking ignorant? Okay, somebody pro-Ukraine or somebody pro-Russian? If you wanted to upset people in other parts of the world, United States, France, Spain, whatever, okay, who has motive to say that the F-16s we're sending to Ukraine are nuclear capable? Because they're not. They are absolutely not nuclear capable. So for me, this is the kind of thing that sucks you in because you're hearing Ukraine positive, Ukraine positive, Ukraine positive, Ukraine has a weapon to fire nuclear missiles, Ukraine positive, and they just slip it in there like a piece of meat in a sandwich. It's very hard to pull the wool over these eyes. That's why me and the military didn't get along, because I had no awe of rank, okay? It's what's between your eyes that counts, as far as I'm concerned. And I found out right from the beginning that all the military wanted to do was have you as a piece of equipment. So I tell people, don't enlist, okay? If you're a patriot and you want to serve your country, yeah, I enlisted, but don't take my example for it, okay? I'm saying that what I found out disappointed me in the American military, from the waste, drug use, alcoholism, the way they treated people that were injured, turn your friends against you because they play these mental mind games to try to keep control of the troops. And for me, I was incredibly disappointed real soon. And they groomed me for a long time. I definitely was top 2% and had certificates to prove it, which is why I married my first wife, because she made the top 2% list too. Information is a double-edged sword. This is what I tell people. Some of the most valuable information in life is learn how to learn. Learn how to learn. Have a sense of curiosity and learn how to learn. Okay? The other is how to discern a lie from the truth. And you do that by going back to the first lesson, which is learn how to learn. Now, this AI, whoever the fuck it was, here at, what's the name of the place again? I keep wanting to reach for my PlayStation controller. It's actually farming money for me right now. the military show. Then I go to the Kiev Post, and here's this expert saying exactly what I said. Had nothing, and he never mentioned nuclear weapons because he knows those aircraft cannot carry nuclear weapons. And all he stated was what I stated to this guy at the military show. You have no understanding, because he was basically saying the F-16 was just going to be, it's not a game changer, not gonna. And you see, this guy does not understand warfare and why they not just chose the F-16 for logistical reasons, okay, but that it carries the 4 weapons that you need to fuck with the Russians, okay, which is long-range air, radar, air and land, okay. The JDAM-ER it's going to be devastating for Russians. They haven't had to put up with that shit. They just had a few the other day, but we're talking about low altitude shots where they climb up. They put some inertia into the weapon bodies, and they go flying off in a climbing trajectory for more distance, okay, to make it safer. What we're talking about is getting up to 60,000 feet and dropping JDAM ERs. That's what we're talking about here. And if radar sites try to check out these aircraft that are coming in, this bomber formation, now you have the guys that are at a lower altitude, and they've got 4 HARM missiles on each aircraft. And pretty soon you have people that are afraid to turn their radars on. Same thing with jamming. Oh, well, they just jam the JDAM. We'll just jam that satellite signal. You guess what? The HARM, it destroys those targets also. And now they're getting smarter. So that HARM missile has, well, I don't think any of it's secure information, but that HARM has in its mind a picture of the terrain that it's looking at. And the nice thing about the HARM on an F-16 is it can be told where the radar is by the F-16. Right now, they have to preload the information in the HARM to mount it on a Russian aircraft in Ukraine. So the F-16 goes, oh, there you are, and it tells the missile, and there goes the missile. Now, the missile doesn't just follow the beam like a laser guidance. It's already, as it's approaching that target, it is already comparing geographical information in its brain to where this radar is sitting. And long before the missile hits that target, it knows exactly where it's at, and that's where it's going to go. So you can turn your radar off, and it's too fucking late. And pretty soon what you have is crews too scared to turn on radars. Anti-ship missiles, harpoons. So now that takes out any platform you have for launching cruise missiles at sea. The extended range JDAM dropped from high altitude. Deadly weapon. We're talking about something the Russians haven't experienced. Their morale is already fucking in the shitter. They've got whole jails full of people who are just saying they're not going to fight. Basements, holes in the ground, holding cell. They're running out of places to put Russian soldiers who are refusing to fight. Now, that is pretty damn bad. Can you imagine America in a fight where we're locking up, thousands and thousands of soldiers because they're just saying, fuck you, I'm not fighting? No, nor on Ukraine's side. I'm sure there are people, when they announced the new draft rules, that left Ukraine because they don't want to fight. That's up to them. But Your duty is to go, and especially against an aggressor who attacked you for no fucking reason. You want your children to live under a democracy, not under a madman. So the F-16 is going to change things. Okay? You got all 4 quadrants covered. The Russians have not had to deal with the harm the way the F-16 can use the harm. They haven't been able to, perform the way it's going to when you put it on an F-16. And that's the number one thing in any attempt to gain some air superiority, or at least equality, okay, is to be able to attack the other site's radars. That's it. You need that defensive base, and now you have a gap where the Russians have to move back. See? I think it is going to be a game changer, especially the number of them that are out there that are they're getting like 60 from Denmark, and I mean there's just a shitload of these aircraft available because everybody's switching over to the F-35. So we have all these spare parts. You have a huge knowledge base that's been gained over many years, and I'm sure that will be American contractor aircraft people that are getting paid outrageous salaries to go and work on F-16s in Ukraine. So that guy, listen, it's totally fucking irresponsible to say that. The military show. The guy, he's got 329,000 views one day ago. And see, it's Putin's days are numbered with a big fucking banner and the F-16. And then he goes on to poo-paw the F-16. And say that it's capable. As soon as he said that it was capable of carrying nuclear weapons, I immediately stopped. So I don't even know what else he talked about. I may be blowing smoke up my own ass. But as soon as he said that, I understood that that was an incredibly bad and irresponsible message, okay? And that whoever had motive to say that, it was said intentionally. You don't say that kind of thing in your little, your money-making, monetized YouTube show, okay? Misinformation, there's already too much of that shit, and we don't need more. So I go to the Kiev Post, and then you get the straight story, because these people aren't in it for clicks, okay? They're trying to inform and give people correct information. This guy never mentioned nuclear capability. So, sorry, I had to get that off my shoulder.